Hard on the brakes for Abbey, turn 1. A small kink to the left island. Hard braking for Village. Through the loop. And hard pedal to the metal for the Wellington straight. Now spotting the break point of about 50 meters, we make it through Brooklands into turn 7 Luffield. It's a never-ending right-hander, and that brings us through Woodcut and the old pit lane, the National Pit Straight. Hard on the brakes in Copse before we make it through the 3 most famous turns of any circuit: Maggots, Beckett's, which slingshots us via Chapel on the Hanger Straight. Trying to reach top speeds here at the end of the Hanger Straight for a hard brake and a downshift to 4 for Stowe. And then hard at the brakes at 50 meters, 60 meters for Vale and back through Club onto the International Pit Straight. And that was a lap on board of Archie, and he set a faster time there with 11 thousandths. He is now in pole position with a time of 1 minute 54 seconds and 789 hundredths. Ganzi is now in second. While I try to start my Project Cars dash to get an even better but I'm afraid my Project Cars app doesn't work because it's waiting for signal but does not get any signal. So I will be a little bit handicapped tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because my Project Cars app does not work currently, so I will have to use the on-screen information more or less the same as you have, and we'll flip through the tables on screen as we are doing currently. We see Archie, Ganzi, Haltman in third, which is a bit of a surprise. Ganzi, oh, Archie there. End of lap, yes. So we're gonna follow Ganzi out of the pit lane, the new pit lane, of course, since a couple of years after the renewal of the circuit and the redesign of the new pit lane. So as I was saying, a little bit of a surprise, although Ganzi, we see Ganzi at tremendous speeds in these formidable machines, these DTM Mercedes race monsters. Ganzi is the man of the first hour, closely followed by Haltman. Pro Fabi on a good 156, closely followed by Blue Nose and Jester. And then we see Destroyer, Shadow Stalker, Nickelman, your host, who will remain in the garage, and Scooby, who is currently on track trying to set a lap in order to qualify for this round 6 in the DTM World Tour. And ladies and gentlemen, the interesting battle between Arky and Ganzi and Haltman at the top. And let's say Scooby G. Look at Scooby, just entered the top 4 with a respectable 155.4. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, of course these cars do have the DRS system in place, in working order, so on the straights the drivers can select DRS down, which will increase their top speed with an extra, with less drag, by the system of less drag, of course, drag reduction system. These cars will go faster, and then adding a slipstream in the race, this might give us some interesting duels. It's a bit of a shame that the field is rather thin tonight, only 9 competitors. Of course, we say welcome to all 9 drivers and thank them for their commitment to our organization and to the fantastic pastime of sim racing, which we all love and are committed to. Of course, it is the silly season, so a lot of drivers are talking to their teams what they are going to do. Project Cars is just Project Cars 2. Project Cars 2 is just around the corner, so with the new Formula 1 game by Codemasters out, a lot of people I have noticed are on Formula 1 at the moment. Nothing wrong with that. And here we probably see one of the last leagues on Project Cars 1. But no doubt we will see an influx of races and leagues at Nxtgen as soon as Project Cars hits the shelves, ladies and gentlemen. I am also looking very much forward to more touring car driving, for example. I have seen some clips on YouTube and I'm very, very jazzed about that. I remember the days of Grid. Who remembers that? On the Turkey circuit, the Turkey GP circuit, and driving the BMW and the Chevys, the BMW of Andy Prio. Those were the days. Those were my first online race experiences, and immediately I was hooked. Holtman meanwhile made it to second, challenging Arki with only 1/10. Closely followed with another 10th, Ganzi. So this is setting up to be an extremely nice race, because Scooby himself follows Ganzi with only 2/10. So the top 4, ladies and gentlemen, just separated by 4/10. In the midfield we see Pro Fabi and Blue Nose. They will battle it out with Jester, no doubt. And then the battle at the tail for now, time-wise, is between the Destroyer and Shadowstalker. It is a long circuit, it is a high-speed circuit, it is a driver circuit, so it's a technical circuit where the driver can make the difference. So I would not phase out any of these 9 drivers. And as I'm saying, we see the Sykester brothers, the Crane brothers, the gangsters, coming in the lobby and immediately exiting pits. So Dark Sykes and Big Sykester are present tonight. I welcome them. Jolly good show they will give us, no doubt. So the challenge just became harder to score some decent points for everybody, and that's what we want to see. We want to see some full field races here at Nxtgen and some fair and honest, intense battles on the track. Now with 9 minutes to go, let's see who's on track currently. Arki's still trying to better his time, but I think he set a scorcher there with a 54.7. Nobody seems to come closer than Holtman and Ganzi. Scooby is excellent. In the race he will probably manage a 154, if not before the end of this session. And there we see the rest of the field. I will take a short break. I will rest my voice, and I will talk to you soon for the start, because don't fast forward too much. The race, oh, here we see Arki. There we see that even the top drivers at any moment might make a little mistake. A lapse of concentration, who will say? So might I add that I will be back and there will be no warm-up. So after this qualification we will immediately jump to the race. So I will talk to you soon. Bye bye for now. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our last 3 minutes are going to be starting from now. All the front runners are still out there. But we have not seen any major changes. Where we see Arky making a mistake again. He better not do that during the race. Where we see Dark Sykes moved up into 9th. Well done. And that's Jester was 7th earlier, so he moved up in 6th. So he's competing with with Blue Nose. Only 1/10 with 2 minutes to go. Last lap of everybody. Gonzi just made it for another lap. He is in his last lap. So only 0.06 of a second separating him from pole. There he goes wide and he's off track. Yeah, that's end of qualification and bye-bye Panasonic. Also Holtman throws down the flag. Scooby going at it. You see the beautiful throttle control. And we have a disconnection from the destroyer, sadly. We saw it on screen happening there. That's sad, and that probably will also give some distorted image at the beginning of this race, where we're gonna go back to the garage and we see the qualification results. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, with a pole position for Arki, followed by Gonzi. Scooby made it to third, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, with the same time as Holtman. Imagine that, exactly the same time. Well done, Scooby. Well done, Holtman, Fubby, Jester, and the lot. Let me... And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna spectate and see what happens up front. Here is Holtman trying to make it to third, I mean, following Scooby. The whole pack closely knit together. Making it to Appy for the first time. Oh, Scooby in second. Gonzi in first now. Scooby in second. Holtman, we're gonna go through maggots soon. Holtman third. Fubby fourth. Into Beckett's. For the very first time, top four is now separated. Down into Chapel on the hanger straight. And we have Gonzi first, Scooby second, Holtman third, Fubby fourth, Dark Sykes fifth, Blue Nose sixth, Shadow Starker seventh, Big Sykester Jester ninth, and Arki. He made a mistake. Arki, our leader, our pole man in 10th, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to have to pull off a Holtman here to make it back up to first, or at least the podium. This will be tremendous to watch. He will be boiling underneath his helmet. His fishing worms are crawling out of his ears. He will be furious with himself. And there he comes to a halt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid that is race over, ladies and gentlemen. Drama. Arki just retired the race. Okay, we cannot be too emotional with that. We will ask him in the press debrief what exactly happened there. That seemed to be some bug maybe in his operating system, in his steering wheel. We are going to try to pick up the race now after these moments, these emotional moments. We are 2 laps into this race with Ganzi leading the race at Silverstone, the DTM World Tour, closely followed by the surprise of the evening, Scooby. Doing a tremendous job, followed closely by Holtman. So that's our top 3. And in 4th, Pro Fabi, who is able to follow the leaders, so he just has to concentrate and not lose too much time. So he has to try to put his claws into the bumper of Holtman. Beautiful fight at the top. We have a 5th Blue Nose with the silver arrow decal. Last race it was donned by Tony, who sadly enough has a cold and couldn't join us tonight. We have Jester in 6th, fighting with Shadow Stalker in 7th. Great to see these battles down the order, where people are committed and want to put on a good show. And Big Sykester in 8th, Dark Sykes in 9th. Let's go back to our leaders, ladies and gentlemen. And Holtman seems to have picked up a time penalty. So this throws more worms out of the can. The fishing worms, courtesy of Arky. Yes, Ganzi is leading Scooby here, but Scooby is really on his tail. He's reeling him in like a big fat river cod. And Holtman, because of his time penalty, no doubt lost a little bit of track and is now coming into the claws of Fabi. But there Scooby is doing a maneuver he shouldn't do. He should avoid these high curbs at Silverstone. We see them making it towards Stowe, if I'm not, yes, towards Stowe, into Vale or Vale. I don't know how we have to pronounce this. Is it in honor of Valentino Rossi, that name, or is it Vale? Somebody should email me about that. And for 3 laps down, Ganzi in the lead, closely followed still by Scooby. We see them make it through Village and the loop onto Wellington Straight. Holtman is clawing his way back to the top 2. No doubt he will want to challenge and make up for his little mistake. And here we see Fabi closely in 4th. Let's follow this battle in for first position. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the Hanger Straight. No, we're not. Chapel and on to the Hanger Straight. Now we are there. Heavy braking for Stowe. Closing down the DRS. and hard on the accelerator before the chicane Vale Club. So Scooby putting on the pressure on Ganzi as we finish another lap with 16 laps to go in this 20 lap race. And there Ganzi went wide. No, he can hold his line. Okay, looked like he went wide there in Abbey. Once more through Aintree on the Wellington Straight, powering it up before they're gonna go hard on the brakes for Brooklands. Left-hander into Luffield, turn 7. Never-ending right-hander stretching out into Woodcott, excuse me, pardon my English. And then before getting the slingshot out of Cops, making it towards, oh, Ganzi towards Maggots, the fastest turn on any circuit in the world in the Formula 1 on the Formula 1 calendar, through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel down to 3rd before they go on the Hanger Straight once more. And Scooby is now challenging Ganzi. Into Stowe, side by side. Into Club. Ganzi can hold the lead for now. DRS down, slipstream on the international pit straight into Abbey. Yes, a little bit of a wide line there by Ganzi, but also by Scooby. Breaking through Ireland, now braking for Village. Left into the loop. Going through Aintree and on the Wellington Straight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the fight that we so desperately wanted to see. We thought it would involve Arky, but he's gone fishing. And now it's up to Ganzi and Scooby to battle it out for first, because I would have not guessed this. Here you can see it on the telemetry. We don't see Haltman in a fighting position. We don't see Haltman into a fighting position for second. Maybe he can hold on to third, because he's definitely fighting for the championship, so he won't do anything silly this race. He just has to keep it, the rubber on the track, as we see this battle unfold. Battle for first. A lot of points are at stake in this championship, in which Ganzi is a major challenger. Every time he partakes, it is some close racing action on screen. Gonna have to follow these two guys battling it out, although I see the back markers also putting on a good show. We will go to them as soon as they close in a little bit more, but you do understand we want to follow this battle between Scooby and Ganzi. I'm gonna stay focused on this battle. So tremendous upset, ladies and gentlemen. Arky, one of the challengers of the championship, for the championship, is out on the second lap. We're gonna have to hear later what happened. As I mentioned, I do suspect some serious malfunctioning of some hard or software, where Ganzi is again a little bit wide there. But as I was saying, we encountered yesterday during the Clio races some major difficulties with people's data being corrupted right before the race started, with people's steering wheels not doing what it should do, with hard and software gremlins left and right, which is never a good thing in such a electronic mechanical sport that sim racing is. What can I say? These guys are putting on a tremendous show. Scooby is really challenging Ganzi, who is now trying to inch away lap by lap. We are almost midway. This is the part where Ganzi is so fast. It is a combination Village, the Loop, Aintree and Wellington Straight, where he seems to really know his lines. Where we have seen him making a little bit of mistakes is in Woodcut, so we're gonna see how he fares this lap, and how, or maybe how, Scooby can try to close the gap. So on the International Pit Straight once again, excuse me, on the Wellington Straight. Magus, Beckett's and Chapel on the Hanger Straight, and there the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel combination really suits Scooby's driving style, because he always is able to make it back, and then to profit from the drag he gets on the Hanger Straight. Now making their way once more to the club chicane. A little bit of a wide line there by Ganzi, which makes Scooby close in even more, where they complete lap 8 of this 20-lap race, and now it's for Scooby to do it all over again, trying to get rid of his nemesis, his shadow, Scooby. Another little wide line by Ganzi there, didn't pick up a time penalty through Maggots, Beckett's into Chapel. And on the Hanger Straight, and Scooby, Ganzi must be thinking, what did this Scooby take tonight? I mean, this guy is just made of glue. He just sees this green Scooby mobile, the Scooby van, the love machine, in his rear mirrors. Anywhere, anytime he looks, the green goblin becomes bigger and bigger, which means he comes closer and closer, ever so close. Hard on the brakes. Into the loop. Coming out of Aintree and slingshot on the Wellington Straight once more. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 laps down. We're almost midway. I cannot leave this battle for first. This is tremendous driving by both drivers. Through Luffield into Woodcote. Powering down to Copse. Fast right-hander. Making their way once more to the 3 famous turns. Maggots. Oh, Ganzi all 4 wheels off the track. Beckett's breaking into Chapel. There he is again. Scooby closing in on the Hanger Straight. We see the same pattern over and over. Ladies and gentlemen, this is turning out to be a tremendous battle for first. Haltman seems to not really be able to close the gap on Scooby, so we stick with these 2 people, with these 2 drivers. Here you can see actually how close it is when we are flying with our little robot drone behind Scooby G, chasing him. Oh, this tail-happy DTM Mercedes coupe almost turned around, but Scooby handled it fine. He's putting on the pressure on Ganzi. He has nothing to lose. So here you see how he closes in this combination of Brooklands and Luffield through Woodcote. No, what am I saying? Through Club, of course. Now into Abbey. I'm sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm too excited. I was totally wrong on the circuit, of course. This is Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. And the Hanger Straight once more. 10 laps down, we are midway. And the race seems to just have started for these 2 guys that are battling it out for first. There's nothing between them. Their lap times just 1/10 apart. Both 54.8 for Ganzi and 9 for Scooby. Haltman runs a 55, so the top 3 is really close. But as we've seen, Haltman did make a mistake earlier and had a time penalty, which meant him losing some considerable time on Scooby and on Ganzi. There we don't even see Haltman in the distance anymore. So the Green Goblin chasing the Yellow Carrot, the Speedy Gonzalez, the Spanish Mouse, the Speedster in this battle of clean and tremendous driving. Haltman really dropped some more distance between him and Scooby, so he must have picked up another going off or time penalty. Who is to say? We're gonna have to wait for the press conference to hear about that, or read the Facebook page. No doubt we will hear about it in the comment section. I hope it is not a technical. There we go, battling it out for first, and an overtake by Scooby on Ganzi. Hard on the brakes for the club chicane. And there we have a change of lead. Oh, we have small contact, ladies and gentlemen. Seem to be okay. I hope both drivers are okay and settle down quickly so we can see another 8 fantastic laps to go. Now Ganzi has to just calm down, concentrate a little bit, learn the lines of Scooby, and we have a beautiful battle on our hands once more in this very exciting DTM World Tour League hosted by Nxtgen. I remember last races, Catalonia for example, also some awesome battles. Close racing, fair racing, fantastic. Ganzi will be concentrating now not to throw this chance for a victory away. He will be studying like a predator the lines of Scooby. Scooby, of course, now is into a position of having driven this whole race following a very fast driver. Now he has to find all these braking points himself. Not to jinx any of the results or anything, but it will be now, I think, Ganzi is in an, I wouldn't say this if we only had 2 laps to go, but Ganzi is in an advantage where he can now study as the professor, for example. Alain Prost just drove a couple of laps behind his competitors and knew exactly where to be, where to better them, basically. Here we see already Ganzi has no problem in following and driving very close, so he's now going to pressure Scooby. And for Scooby, of course, this is the first time that he's under pressure. Before it was him, the predator. He was pushing. He had enough base speed. And so now it's up to Scooby to really put the pedal to the metal and try to break the drag of Ganzi. Make sure he does not drag on the hanger straight, nor on the international pit straight, where we are now. But that's not really long straight, so now into Abbey and Island. What am I saying? Oh, Ganzi again here in Maggots and Beckett's. He totally missed there his turn. He got launched and picked up a time penalty, ladies and gentlemen. Can this be a decisive moment in this race? He surely got some, he lost some serious time there. He is now, sadly enough, we don't have any times on my screen for the gaps. The times are not correct, ladies and gentlemen. These are the gaps of their lap times, it seems. No, not even that, there's something wrong. Project bugs. We so hope that this feature in Project Cars 2 to comment on races will be better than it is now, as we get to have seem to have a lot of technical problems lately. So there you see Scooby G, well deserved, and actually Ganzi has only himself to blame here. Just that little lapse of concentration. It is so difficult, ladies and gentlemen, to race on the tip of your toes. Scooby did put the pressure on Ganzi. We have to say that. Scooby G did a good job there. Ganzi did a fantastic job leading the race for 11 laps, 12 laps almost, where then the attack of Scooby came in lap 9. After putting on the pressure the entire race. We lost Haltman, we lost sight of Haltman a little bit. Let me skip through the field. Here is Ganzi in second. Here is Haltman, of course, he's now trying to reel in Ganzi. Having said that, I do believe he has some force feedback problems. Maybe his force feedback dropped out. We all know about these problems. Maybe his steering wheel is standing half crooked or didn't center well. Me, for example, had this happen last Clio race where I had to qualify with my steering wheel locked to the right, and for the race it locked itself to the left, so it didn't want to center, which is really annoying. So this gives us some time to pick up Pro Fubby, who's doing a fantastic job in fourth. There you see it. Turning out good, consistent low 56s, high 55s. So well done, Pro Fubby. Some strong points for the championship. Blue Nose in the Silver Arrow in a strong fifth. Probably not that much of an eventful race for Blue Nose, but some decent points if he finishes in 5. Well done in the beautiful Silver Arrow with red stripes, and that always makes a car go faster. Some decent race stripes. Jester in 6th. I believe last race he was fighting for 7th and 8th, so 6th is a very good position. 56.1 is a respectable time around Silverstone here in these DTM coupes, AMG Mercedeses. Once again through cops, going through maggots, beckets, and then back to third for Chapel, which brings us back to the Hangar Straight with Jester in 6th, with Dark Sykes in 7th. You see the field is rather spread. Nice drift there through, where was that? Through Woodcut, no, through Cops. And also he makes his way down to Maggots, Beckets and Chapel. As does Shadow Stalker. Also, that's where Ganzi lost it earlier. And Ganzi was then pushed wide, where the stewards gave him a time penalty. He had to slow down for 5 seconds and lost the lead, of course. Lost the touch to the lead because Scooby already managed to pass him. As we see Shadow Stalker brake for Stowe, chasing down Dark Sykes into Club's corner, and completing lap 17. Big Sykester, sadly enough, also had to retire. He's still sitting in the car contemplating, what have I done? What happened? I don't know. Did you see that? I better watch the replay by Nickelman. I'm sorry, Big Sykester. Nickelman missed it, man. I hope to see and hear about it in the press conference. And I'll now cut back to our leaders, where we see Scooby G in Club's corner. Completing lap 17. With 3 laps to go. No longer on his tail, but in second, oh, making a little, went a little wide, and I do believe he picked up another time penalty, and that brings us into another fight. Haltman following close now. Can Haltman hang on and make a move, maybe make it into second position? What drama? No, what drama is this? What drama, ladies and gentlemen. Ganzi having enough. I am so sorry, I'm so excited I can't speak anymore. I just wet my pants. This is a sad day for the Speedy Gonzalez. Ladies and gentlemen, he did so deserve his win here. He was just so consistent for 11 laps straight. Let me rub this in as like a pickle, a salted pickle in an open stabbing wound. Let me rub this in. He was leading the race, and there he launches the AMG Mercedes again. Furious, probably furious, and with some knife between his teeth. Might have cut his upper lip there. Ganzi, we feel so sorry for what just happened to you, but third is still bronze medal in the Olympics and a formidable cup and some decent points for the championship. But we would have wanted, of course, to see some close racing at the finish. We almost had it, but we have the upset. We have the upset of Haltman taking third, of Ganzi, but fantastic driving by Scooby taking first from Ganzi in the first place. And that's a lot of first in the same sentence. And once more on the Wellington Straight. National Pit Straight, I'm sorry, cops. Maggots, and then the left-hander Beckett's into Chapel. On the Hanger Straight, Scooby G, this is for you, this is your victory lap coming up, and I think it is only fair to say that we gonna stick with Scooby for his victory lap after he completes Club's corner. Here we go. Well done, Scooby. You're gonna now guide us through the circuit for the last time. Abbey, Ireland Village, hard braking to the right, chicane followed up by the loop, turn 5 Aintree, beautiful, on the Wellington Straight, onboard camera on the Wellington Straight, hard on the brakes for Brooklands, and a right hairpin Luffield, which opens up into Woodcut. And Scooby brings us all smiling underneath that helmet of his. On the national pit straight into Cops. Maggots. Beckett's. And Chapel. Last time on the hanger straight. What shall I say? What can I say? Well done, Scooby. Into Stowe. Last time braking for Vale. Left. And then Club's corner. This used to be a big, dangerous corner in the past. But they renewed that on. Over finish line. Well done, Scooby, with your victory in the DTM World Tour. Well done, Haltman, albeit with a little bit of luck. Commiserations to Ganzi. I am so sorry for his bad luck this race, but a beautiful third. Strong points for Pro Fubby in fourth. Well done. Blue Nose, the Silver Arrow, the one and only, in fifth. Jester, well done, in sixth. Dark Sykes, that is not a bad finish. You have to finish to score points, and you know what? Seventh. It's not because other people's misfortune. These other people also still have to finish to score points. If they don't, other people will take these points, and gladly so. Nothing wrong with that. That's what this championship is all about. It is taking part and having fun. Well done, Dark Sykes, very deserved. Shadow Stalker, also a little bit of problems on the way, I think. But well done, you know, you completed the race. Well done. Thank you for taking part and doing so well. Shadow Stalker in 8th. Big Sykester is still thinking, what have I done? I was Nickelman, I was your host. I'm gonna leave the lobby so the drivers can save the replay. And I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you next week. Nickelman out. Bye bye for now.